when a player walks out of the changing room into the hall, I know what kind of practice it's going to be. As every kid wants to know the why. Mom says you have to eat your vegetables. Why do I have to eat my vegetables? You have to understand those things.
Chiemgau Baskets Podcast.
Hey, I have Mr. Mitchell here with me today again.
Yes.
Thanks for coming.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So how are you doing?
I'm great. Celebrate the new year, the holidays with the family. So it was pretty exciting.
Oh, so you used the holidays to calm down and relax, or do you...
Yeah, it's kind of calming down, but when you have a 9-month old daughter, granddaughter, it's kind of it's more action than you expect, but it's great.
Do you love it?
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm head over heels in love with my granddaughter.
You decided to stay within Chiemgau Baskets, so you did your prolonging this year. So you're here the third year now, and you did the assignment for another 2 years. Franz told me that you said in Traunsteiner Tagblatt once that you will only stay for 2 years in one club. So why did you change your thoughts about that?
I said it on the podcast before, unfinished business. I really feel that when you're in the process of doing something, you want to see it through. And I've always been a man of that. I pride myself on being a man based on principles. And the dedication and loyalty that these kids are giving me, I feel they deserve in return. And I'm really excited about the future. I'm really looking forward to continuing the process, because this is all a process. And as long as we can continue to grow, I think that I'm in the right place.
That's good to hear. So I think many people out there think that you are just a coach of the Herren Eins, of the man, and but you aren't.
No, it's a bit more complicated than that. If you had to categorize it, you would say I'm the head coach of coaches. Whatever is needed, I will have to do. My responsibility is to try to help young coaches become a coach, because some coaches are great trainers, some people are good coaches. I'm trying to give them the line to be able to do both. And this is where my job becomes more important, to where I can reach out to different groups, different age groups, and see what they're learning, see the process, and then use my experience by being in this process before with major countries to try to increase it here. So our kids get Coach A full-time in every age group.
So how do you achieve this? Because I think it's very worthwhile to have someone with that much experience, but how can you achieve to, I don't know, help someone? How can do you talk with them constantly, or do you just look at them and on the growth of the team, and then I don't know, give some advices, or how can you achieve this to be the coach of the coaches?
Yeah.
What do you actually do?
Well, the main thing is to witness, to be able to watch, to be able to see what is being learned, to watch the reaction of the kids, to work on the personal relationships that a coach has to have with his players, and to make sure that our coaches understand that there are certain steps that we want each age group to have. And then as they increase their ability and skill, we want to try to develop them into their personal skills, which will help their team skills. The main thing is to make sure that the coaches understand that it is a team sport. It is not an individual sport at any means. And to help them to understand that the process sometimes is slower for some, faster for others. So that's where the experience comes in. most of the time. It's getting them to understand where we are. We have to be where we are and help the kids to understand that they are the future.
Hi, bevor es gleich weitergeht, kommt hier noch ein wichtiger Hinweis von mir. Das Studio, in dem wir gerade aufnehmen, ist komplett neu. Und das Beste, du kannst es selber nutzen. Ganz egal, ob für deinen eigenen Podcast, ein Interview oder einfach um deine Geschichte zu erzählen. Und zur Eröffnung des Studios haben wir eine ganz besondere Idee. Und zwar, dass wir wohltätigen Vereinen die Möglichkeit geben wollen, das Studio zu nutzen, um über ihre Geschichten zu erzählen, über ihr Angebot zu sprechen und über das, was sie eben leisten. Ja? Weil jeder, der Aufmerksamkeit braucht, auch ganz egal, ob für seine Produkte, seine Dienstleistung oder das, was er tut, der muss seine Geschichten erzählen. Und dafür ist das Studio konzipiert. Also wenn du jemanden kennst, der Aufmerksamkeit braucht oder der was Tolles anbietet, sag's gern weiter. So, und jetzt weiter geht's. You are engaged in being the coach for the grown-ups, but also for you're in different youth programs. So I think there are different topics, there's different tasks for you. What do you enjoy the most?
I really and truly, I love professional coaching. I think professional coaching is coaching. I think you reach a point where you are really able to work with players which skill levels are already developed. For me, that turns the challenge into their coach against me. Because it's my knowledge of the game against his knowledge of the game. When you're dealing with youth, you're dealing with personalities, developing those personalities, instilling a mentality to develop, and also you have to have a level of patience, because most young players, they don't come out and accept all the information as other players do. So I keep my philosophy the same by having them understand that I will treat everyone fair, but never the same, because they're different. And the challenge in youth coaching is getting those different personalities to work on the same page. And that's where the challenge of it comes. Which one I prefer, it depends on the day.
Okay.
You know.
So you are, but you know many of the talents in the Chiemgau Baskets family, and you are working in different programs. So, for example, the Chiemgau Academy. So, what do you think? Are there some talents coming up, or do we have to keep buying different talents from all over the world? What do you think?
No, we have some extremely talented kids. The big issue is to teach them how to remain hungry for it. I always use the term lions and sheep. I want to teach them how to be a lion, how to stay hungry. And when it's time for them to eat, they won't need a coach. They're really ready to do it themselves. And so these are the things that we're trying to instill in them, is to develop their individual skill, but more importantly, develop their individual mentality. Because to play different levels, mom's not going to be there. Dad's not going to be there. Even your favorite coach may not be there. So you have to have a strong mentality to be able to believe in yourself, to be ready to do the work. Because no one is bad at anything, but everything needs to be worked on.
Okay, I'm just thinking about, so if you want to achieve higher goals in basketball, and I think you have to spend a lot of time in playing basketball, and is it possible to, I don't know, enjoy your life?
Yeah.
And being a professional basketball player, is this possible?
Well, you don't just wake up and you're a professional basketball player. So the kids have to, first of all, be kids.
Yeah.
You know, enjoy playing the game. Yes, I would love to have them in the gym to train 16 times a week. That would be awesome. But the bottom line is that they are kids, and they're going to have phases, especially when they're going from a boy to a young man. That's a big phase. And even for a girl going to a young girl, a young lady, it is a process. And that's what the coaching comes in. That's when the coaching really turns in, because you're not only training the person, but you're coaching them now. And that's the differences of being able to develop a skill, to show you a drill, but to explain how that drill works and how it affects you in the future. These are the things that we try to focus on in the academy. I want the guys to understand that they have to be able to answer the question, why? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this drill? As every kid wants to know the why. Mom says you have to eat your vegetables. Why do I have to eat my vegetables? You have to understand those things. And I think these are the things that we try to develop in the academy.
Is there something you do before every game? So in the last training or something like that? Is there something?
It depends on the training, and it depends on the players. When a player walks out of the changing room into the hall, I know what kind of practice it's going to be already, because some players wear their heart on their shoulders, and I can read it. I can read the body language. As you start to be in the game as long as I have, body language is a big thing. And when negative body language is showing itself, I have 15 players and I have 10 with a negative body language, that training has to change. I have to give them something else. I may have a plan in my mind, but that plan has to go away because they just don't have the energy for it. So I have to pick a subject, because the training drills are already in the head. They're already ready. I just have to get the subject that fits the energy of that day.
You have some very strong players in the team, actually, and some of them can really also lead the team in different ways. So how can you give them the possibility to, I don't know, lead the team on their way? On your side, for example.
Yeah, by getting, first of all, a personal relationship to where the respect level is high, both from my side and their side. And then the biggest thing I do, I let them be themselves. I don't want them to change. I don't want them to change if they're an emotional kid, or if he's a sad kid, or he's got to be himself.
Last question. How much sport do you do, actually? do you play basketball yourself?
I played yesterday, believe it or not, with my kids in my school, and it felt good. I felt really good. I need to start being more active. I've been trying to motivate myself to do that, because I'm getting lazy in my old age. But I'm a sports fanatic. I can watch sports 24 hours a day. So I keep it, because in each one of those sports, there's something I can learn that helps me in mine, in terms of coaching, reactions, negative reactions, when things are going well, when things are going bad. How does the coach handle it? How does the player handle it? I get all the information of that, and it helps me in my coaching.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me
so
again. I really enjoy it every time.
See you next time.
All righty.
Chiemgau Baskets Podcast.